Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Chill Zone. You see my face, so you know it is me, Shonda Orlesia, and we have an amazing show tonight. I can call him my friend because we've been knowing each other for a year now, so I'm gonna call him my friend. So tonight is gonna be a great show. I've been trying to get him here since the fourth, but things have happened, storms have happened, but that's in the past. So we're gonna leave that in the past. So before we go ahead and go live, I want to go on over to Facebook and share this information on Facebook so you guys will know we are live, we are in color, and we here. So give me 1 second. How have you guys been doing? Welcome out there in Radio Land on Inspiration 98.7. Yes, you hear my voice. So yes, you know it is me, it is I, it is she, Shonda Orlesia. So we are here live. And like I said, I'm so excited about tonight's show. Tonight's show is amazing. Um, I'm going to just give a little tidbit. And then for those that don't know him, you guys, he's going to introduce himself. But we are talking about an amazing gentleman. His name is, oh my God, Mr. James V. Crockerham. And I hope I'm saying that correctly because I don't want to be giving out his name wrong because I just love him and I adore him so much, especially for everything that he does. So I'm putting this on Facebook now so you guys know that we are live and we are here and we are in color. So I just posted it to my Facebook page so you guys can go on and you can see it and you can click the link and you can join in. Okay? So now, without further ado, let's please welcome in here the man himself, Mr. James V. Crockerham. Am I saying that correctly? Am I saying that
Well,
correctly?
it depends on where you live. Um, I have relatives who say the last name is Cockerham, and that way nobody misspells it. But I pronounce
Okay.
it Cockerham with a silent H. When my son was
Okay.
when my son was in London, he said, "Daddy, nobody has a problem saying Cockerham, but they also say Buckingham Palace." But I also have a close
Right.
friend whose last name is Graham, and she calls and says,
Oh.
"Hello, Cockerham," and I say, "Hello, Graham," because Graham's has an H in her name, but she doesn't pronounce it. But it's okay to pronounce mine. So,
Right.
but I've been called a lot of different names, so take your pick. I'm not offended by someone mispronouncing my name. It's who I am that really matters, and the fact that we're even taking the time that you are taking the time out of your busy schedule to give me an opportunity just to interact with you on your show, your wonderful show. I'm just pleased with that. As a matter of fact, if you have problems with Cockerham, you can call me James. Most people don't have a problem with that. James works for me.
Well, thank you so much, James. Like I said, I love you and I adore you, especially for the great works that you are doing in this industry. I done heard so much of your music. You are just the most all around, well round, talented person that I have met. And like I said, it is an honor to have you back again on the show. Like I said, it's been like maybe a year or two, but hey, you're back. I have your music. But before we go into that, for those that don't know you, can you go ahead and say a little bit about yourself?
Oh my goodness. Just keep it brief. I'm a music composer and a playwright. I've recorded 6 albums, 5 CDs, and produced 4 musical stage productions. BMI writer and publisher. Recorded my first 45 in 1970, my senior year in college, and as just graduated and performed my first recording at the Arthur Smith Studio in Charlotte. And my last recording was just a compilation produced by my son Brian, uh, who plays with PJ Morton and Emily King and a lot of other different people. But he and Ethan Goldborn, both Berkeley grads, produced my last project. That's sort of it in a nutshell. Of course, we could go into much, much more, but my wife accuses me of talking too much. So I'm going to try and not talk too much.
I don't want to get you in trouble with your wife. I don't want to get you in trouble with your wife. So it's so much that I want to ask. And from the beginning, what got you into the music? What got you into this network?
Well, I go all the way back to, I remember sitting on my aunt's lap as a child. I had maybe 1.5, 2 years old, but I was on her lap and she was playing the piano and she allowed me to bang on the piano. And I was fascinated by the sound. And then from there, I can remember standing on my tippy toes to reach up and make noise on the piano. And then, of course, from there, it just, just developed. My brothers are musicians and we would have jam sessions and our friends would come over and we would have jam sessions, and cousins would visit from out of town and we would have jam sessions. My mom was a domestic, so I didn't have a lot of toys growing up. So actually the piano became a toy. And so I was playing music, and then I remember my father saying, I think he was watching a Western on TV, and he was like, "Boy, get off the piano making all that noise." And I would come out, and then next night I'm in there banging on the piano, and I started playing melodies. And he, in his wisdom, said, "Boy, close that door, making all that noise." And I closed the door, and I can remember playing the piano and holding the sustained chords and just listening to the music ring. I can remember 3rd grade, I started playing clarinet. My mom bought a clarinet from my next door neighbor, and she sold it for, I think, for $15, but it took my mom 3 months to pay for it. She used to talk about duns. What's a dun? Well, you've heard of due, past due. Well, hers were done. Took me a long time to catch it, but she had done. I remember elementary band playing He's Gone Away, and the feeling that came over me when I played the music. And I've always had excellent band instructors. And one thing led to another. I played for Vacation Bible School one summer, and next thing you know, I was playing for church and playing for a choir. And in 7th grade, that was my first choir. So from 7th grade on, part in church on Sunday, playing for a choir. 7th grade, playing clubs, because that was the other opportunity, and they didn't have the work laws. At least they didn't enforce them where I grew up. So we had our little bands. I think my first gig, it was a rainy night in North Carolina, and all the lady could pay us was a hamburger and a Coke, but it was good. And then, of course, there to Livingstone College, where I attended. I was a sociology major, but I spent most of my time in the music building, played for all the groups on campus, all the talent shows and the prayer meeting choir, and from there to graduation. And then, it just kept evolving. I was a sociology major, and that may be one of the reasons I'm an eclectic writer. I write country music. I can write for orchestras. At the young age of 65, I got my master's in orchestration for film and television from Berklee College of Music in Boston. And so now I can write for orchestras. One of the first questions the instructor told us when we were signed up, he said, people will ask you, can you write for a piano? I'm like, sure. Can you write for a trio? Yep. Can you write for a 120-piece orchestra? I don't know. Well, okay. And they'll call somebody else and they'll have them write something for a trio. But when you say, yes, I can write for an orchestra, the Lift Every Voice and Sing. I don't know if you had a chance to listen to that or not, but it was played at the Gateways Music Festival. It was 125 classically trained musicians of African descent. And they interpreted the Lift Every Voice and Sing, but it's different movements. It begins in Africa on the ship, arriving in the US, and then we go to the Lift Every Voice and Sing. But I told you I was long-winded.
Hey, I'm enjoying every bit of it. Mm-hmm. So you said you just got your orchestration degree, correct?
At the young age of 65. It was actually 2014.
What made you go back to get that?
I have a friend who sings with Atlanta Symphony Chorus, and she kept saying, James, when you play, your music sounds like an orchestra. You have all these moving parts, and you play like an orchestra. So I became an adjunct professor at Carver College, and the president encouraged me you need to go to school and get your degree if you're going to continue to teach music appreciation. So I went to Berkeley, and they asked what I wanted to major in, and I said orchestration. So that's where I got the master's certificate. And I remember my first class writing for a small ensemble, and I came to the instructor with a pity party face on, like, I've been playing for maybe over 40 years, but I may not be familiar with all the musical terminology and all of it. And I'm going on and on and on. She said, you need to get busy. Your assignment is due tomorrow. Keep your ears. Theory will come. Click. That's okay. So, but she ended up loving my music. Straight A student, every class that I took. So, now I'm very familiar with Pro Tools. I can write in Finale, pull it over to Pro Tools, make it sound like real instruments. And we know how to score movies. And actually, the speech won't be delayed. It will be synced up. All of those things. But that's the thing I love about Berkeley, is that they don't tell you what you can or cannot write. They simply want to make sure that you know what you are writing. So in going back to the Lift Every Voice and Sing, after you leave all the prettiness of and the beauty of Africa, and it becomes tense being on a ship this far apart, are touching all the way from the continent of Africa to the continent of America. You are sitting next to the person, you didn't speak their language. You're the same color, but you don't speak the same language. You're eating with your hands. You go into the bathroom where you are. You look across and you see someone throwing up. You look there and someone has died. That is not beautiful music. So I put in a section that's called chaotic texture. And it's just, and I remember telling the brass section in the orchestra, they're classically trained. So they read what I had written, ta-ta-ta-tum, da-da-da-da-da. And when I explained to them this sing, and I said, when you play that section, imagine looking across, you're urinating on yourself, defecating on yourself, and now you have to eat. There was no, excuse me, sir, may I use the restroom? No, you were cattle, just treated like cattle, like animals.
Mhm.
And when you play that section, I want you just to imagine you've just finished eating and you look across from you and someone is throwing up. So now that ta 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 da la 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 becomes ba 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 bum boom. That's what they did. Those musicians are like, woo. And my friend kept telling me, you can write anything you want to. They'll read it. She was so right. And the counter melodies going on. And while all that's taking place and the rah and the boom, then you have the woodwinds and they're going da 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 da. That's Morse code for free. So that's built into the song. You know, and then pretty soon the brass section comes in. They're playing da 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 da. And then with the drums and the strings and everybody's going da 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 da, which is like free. And then you finally land. When you land in America, it's 1619, and that's what's called the Baroque period in Europe. You know, where you had the da 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 da. So then it changes from that to the nice, clean, little crisp classical sound. And then, of course, it goes from there to the church and the club. So you have a call and response. The strings, upright strings, are going do 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 do, and the people over here going hallelujah da 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 da, and do 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 do. All those familiar chants that we hear. African American rhythms. And in case anybody hasn't figured it out, that's American music. American music is African American music. Even your bluegrass sound.
Mm-hmm.
And then ding 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 ding. Okay. You go to the Kojic Church or the Holiness Church, and you hear that. Banjo is actually an African instrument. But anyhow, we're going on and on. We've only talked about lift every voice and sing, haven't we?
But see, that's needed. A lot of people need to know that, especially where it's derived from. Because a lot of people don't understand that the music is derived from a while ago.
Oh yeah.
So it's look, I'm enjoying this. Look, I need a pen. I can take notes. I'm going back to school right now.
It's recorded. You're recording it. Don't worry. Modern technology. You don't have to take notes. You can go back and stop and start.
Right. So now I've played some of like your Christmas music. They sent me Christmas music over for you. Oh, I was in love with that. I'm sorry. I was in love with it.
You're gonna love A Gift of Love. A Gift of Love was presented as a stage play with Ruby Dee. We had Q, we had PJ Morton, Shantae Cam were all in that particular musical. And we did it at the Rialto. But when I do it again, it's going to be at the Alliance Theater. And it will be the 125-piece orchestra and 200-voice chorus. And it will be called an oratorio, A Gift of Love, the oratorio. Same songs, but just with narration and music. But all of them are original Christmas music.
Just be there, sit there. Can I come?
Yes, ma'am. I don't know how much tickets will be.
Because I love that. I truly, truly love that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say when I was writing the songs, I could understand what Handel felt when he wrote the Messiah, because I was simply looking in the Bible and reading the story, the Christmas story, the nativity story, and the music, the words began to develop a rhythm. And in my mind, so I started writing with those rhythms. So that's what.
See, and that's an extraordinary gift. That is an
Where it comes from.
extraordinary gift.
That's where it comes from. And believe it or not, this next project that we're working on, I've mentioned before, the 6 albums and the 5 CDs. This is the first project I've done that's not gospel. It's not a gospel CD. And so I want everybody to know up front, I've got rapping. They don't use any profanity now because I'm still old school. No profanity. But we get the message across. And there, I think there's a alumni meeting. We're going to be talking about Marvin Gaye's social song, consciousness type songs. But that's what this whole new project's about. And I was just thinking before signing on with you, the song we have out now is called Winner. But there's also a song called What Say We? Is it best to just be silent? Unless they're killing me. But they do the voting laws in Georgia. I saw on the news today, don't give them people any more money. There are 300,000 jobs out here. In Tennessee, they're saying you cannot teach the children about the racism that took place in the United States and in the public school in Tennessee. Really? These are laws that are being passed, voter suppression laws. It's okay for the police to kill, and it's okay for you to kill each other, but it's not okay, for you to put the police officer in jail for holding his knee on your neck for 8 minutes. While he chews gum and checks his nails and basically says, "Is he dead yet? And what you gonna do?" That's basically what it was in your face. Now we're revealing it because Senator Waters made a comment, and because somebody in the jury wore a shirt, Black Lives Matter, so that was a biased jury. How could we forget what has been done in the past? Breonna Taylor, now it's a law you can't go in shooting people's houses. But it won't matter because they're going to say we had a no search warrant, and the laws are shaped that way.
Jesus.
But these are things that are taking place right in front of our face. Is it best for us to keep silent?
Yeah, they want us to keep quiet.
Yeah,
they want us to keep quiet.
And if I hear one more person, well, Biden ain't all that, I'm like, do you not know who just left? And you're going to talk against this guy who's helping you stay in your house, wants to give you some jobs, wants to make the middle class grow.
Yes.
But we'd rather have an autocracy. We just want one person to run everything because he did a great job. It puzzles me. So I guess I'm not the one keeping silent. And, then this is for everybody in the world to see, because, we have worldwide audiences, and thanks to Google Translate, I've made friends around the world, and they're like, "Oh, wow, how long have you been doing this?" And I Googled what they say, and copy what they paste it in Google Translate, translates it to English. I take what I want to say back in English and translate it to their language, copy and paste it back. And we're having a conversation, and the guy was saying, "I thought you spoke my language." And I'm like, try Google Translate. You too can speak my language.
But right. It's an amazing tool. It's an amazing tool.
Yeah, but this show, it may come back to haunt me. Oh, you said that. Yeah, I said it, but I'm not. I refuse to be silent. I'd like to keep the format and be socially accepted because he didn't go into politics or religion. Really?
And this is what this platform is for. This platform is for people to speak their mind, to have the freedom of speech and not be held back. That's why I created this platform because you can't go on like a lot of the FM and the AM stations and speak your mind because they'll shut you down.
Yeah, yeah.
They'll shut you down.
Against our rules. And you think of the media. There's another song on the new project called "Let Them Go,"
Mm-hmm.
and it talks about our young men being incarcerated, and every one of them. I worked in corrections for 12 years, so I know what it means when it says 4 walls, a ceiling, and a floor. Where is the key that opens the door? Great minds poison, thoughts controlled. Mind is free, but not for long. And then it goes on to say, Cat has 9 lives. They gave him 2. Freedom came, but he didn't know what to do. Cat has 9 lives. They gave her 4. Freedom came, but she came back for more. That's that recidivism. They become, the people in prison become their family. They're loved, they're accepted for who they are. They have food to eat, clothes to wear, a TV, exercise, fresh air. And then when they're released, you can't vote because you're a felon. You can't work for me because you're a felon.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what the felony charge is? Drug possession. You were smoking a joint with your friend in the car. If you're Bill Clinton, I was only in the car. I didn't inhale it. If you're in the front with your car and they find half a joint, you are arrested. You call grandma. Grandma, they have arrested me, and it's like, I need the bond has been set for $500, and all I need is $50 to get out. You know what grandma gonna say? What you calling me for? I ain't got $50. You got yourself in it, get yourself out of it. On the other hand, Johnny gets caught with a full bag of marijuana and coke and some pills. By the time he gets to the jail, he has called grandmother. She sends 2 attorneys. They get to the jail before he does. His bond is set at $500,000. He needs $50,000 to get out. The attorneys say, do we need to wire it to you? Do we need to bring a certified check? Or do we have to go get cash? He doesn't even, in the terms, dress out.
Right.
He doesn't even get examined. He's out. And you know what happens when he gets to court? He has a drug problem. Call his doctor, who will testify that he has a drug problem. And he has mental health issues. We're bringing his psychiatrist. Man, these folks are $1,000 an hour. Then the judge has pity. Son, get yourself together. Don't you see what you're doing to your grandmother? Now, I'm going to let you go this time, but don't come back. I never want to see you again in my courtroom. True life story from one of my white friends. I won't call a city because I don't know if he's watching this or not, but a city in Georgia. A city in Georgia. 2 Siri's recording what I'm writing. All right, let me turn that off. 2 guys. One's dad was a physician, the other was an attorney. They decided for fun they would go rob the bank. They went in with guns, armed robbery, and robbed the bank. You know what their sentence was from the judge? I'm sentencing you to college. Both of you will go to college.
What?
True story in Georgia. And we talk about inequities. Oh, well, you can't get this job. You're not smart enough. Well, that's what they said during my era, during the age of segregation. You can't.
Oh my God.
We were supposed to have tails. We were supposed to have not we weren't able to learn, but in 3 years after integration, you had Black valedictorians, Black salutatorians,
Mhm.
and that did not sit well. I have a friend whose dissertation for a PhD was, "Are we better off?" I grew up in an all-Black elementary and high school. Looking back, I was just talking with one of my classmates. It was almost like we were in private school. Even children with learning disabilities are articulate speakers.
Mhm.
No broken English. It's the way they were trained. And the expectations were high. You will achieve. If you choose to be a janitor, you got to be the best janitor anybody's ever had.
Yeah.
If you're going to be the attorney, you better be toe to toe with Crump, defending folks. You are not coming out here
Mhm.
half stepping. And it drives me wild to hear somebody who's doctor. I'm like, you didn't go to my school. They got on your clearance for saying doctor, DOCDA. You're not a doctor, you're a doctor. But this
Mhm.
is what's drilled in my head. I don't use profanity. And folks say,
Yeah.
James, do you even know how to cuss? I know how to cuss. But I don't think it's necessary because all during school, they told us, programmed us. People who use profanity have limited vocabularies. They don't know
My
how to
mama told
express
me the
themselves.
same thing.
But it's kind of true. I remember I was at a film um, conference. What do you call it? Everybody gets together. Film festival. I was at a film festival, and the lady was at the table, and I was telling her about my project, and I was saying, "There's no profanity," and she said, "It's not real." I said, "It's very
Mhm.
real." I said, "As a matter of fact, I can say some things to you that will make you feel so bad about yourself, I can make you cry." She had a pen. She threw a pen on it, and she said, "I had a husband like that," which proved my point. You don't have to use
Mhm.
profanity, but I can hurt your feelings. I can make you feel bad about, you know, about yourself. You know,
Mhm.
or Alicia, what's wrong with you? What?
Yeah.
Why did you choose this little show? Ain't nobody watching your show. What's wrong? Now, see, just those four little things, even though you know I'm joking, you felt it. Like, what? I
Mhm.
do not be saying it on my show. But that's just to demonstrate. You don't have to use it. If you are a wordsmith and you know how to put those words and say things that, and sometimes
Mhm.
people are ugly and they don't even know they're ugly. Put
Mhm.
that over there. I mean, when I also been a public housing manager, I remember, never forget, the executive director had me in his office. He said, "No, James, when you talk to your secretary, you say, Miss So and So, would you please go and get that file for me, please?" She'll run. She can thank me. "Thank you so much. Thank you." And he said, or you could say, "So and so, get that file for me," and she'll still do it. But the way you say it makes a difference. Yeah.
Yep. The way you say it.
Mm.
Mm.
But anyway, what were we talking about originally? Oh, my music. All that was to say there's another song called "Let Them Go," but we went off into the. They let us out to pasture, but kept the fence electrified. So, in case you think Chill Zone is going all the way to the top, if you get too much traction, too much attention, they'll find a way to. And you wonder, how did that happen? What happened? Trust me, we have been monitored. We are
Mhm.
being monitored. And is it best to just be silent? I don't think so. Now is not the time. They're already campaigning against to make sure we don't vote. We need to let folks know from now, you must. You must follow
Mhm.
all their rules. Bring your
Mhm.
own water. Bring your own
Mhm.
snacks. When we used to take long road trips and couldn't eat in the restaurants, it was some good eating. You stop on the side of the road, some little park where you could pull off, and they throw the stuff out
Mhm.
on the picnic. We call them picnics, and we would have
Yeah.
a picnic, and then you rest for a little while, and then you're back in the car driving. when the cousins came to town, they stayed with us because there were no hotels for us. So, I guess I've had the experience of then versus now. And now everybody that is so old. It's not like that anymore. I go to a school where be careful. That's all I can say. Guard your eyes, guard your ears, guard your mouth at all times, because you can be taken advantage of and you don't even know it.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So let's let them go.
Yes. Well, I was sent over your song Winner. So this will be the first time debuting. I've been holding this song for the longest. So this will be the first time debuting on Inspiration 98.7.
Okay.
So if you can you go ahead and introduce the song for me?
Oh, long or short version? How much more time we have? Well, it just basically talks about when we become successful and start making $20 and $30 million a year, we want to leave the community. Don't do that. Put the money back in your neighborhood. It begins by saying life was not easy in my neighborhood. It took skills to survive, but I had a teacher who taught me how to think. My neighborhood is changing. I just bought my street. I'm a winner. And then there's one that says, potentiality is what I see. Superman is not reality. Don't waste my time saying what I can't do. Just show me how, and I will see it through. I'm a winner. Yeah. And then there's eyes with no vision, ears with no sound, speech with no reference, only feelings guiding, wrote a story, knowledge in a book. Now somebody knows what they never knew before. That's Helen Keller. And then I'll let you listen to the last verse without giving the whole song away. But it's just basically a song to motivate you and just to let you know, Alicia, you are a winner. You are a winner. You have started the chill zone. A lot of people only think about it. You did it. You're a winner. And don't you forget it.
Thank you. And y'all heard it here first on Inspiration 98.7.
I'm a winner. I'm a winner. I'm a winner. Life wasn't easy in my neighborhood. It took skills to survive. But I had a teacher who taught me how to think. Neighborhood is changing, I just bought my street. I'm a winner. I'm a winner. I'm a winner. I'm a winner. Potentiality is what I see. Superman is not reality. Don't waste my time saying what I can't do. Just show me how and I will see it through. I'm a winner. I'm a winner. I'm a winner. I'm a winner. Yeah. Eyes with no vision, ears with no sound, speech with no reference, only feelings guiding. Wrote a story, knowledge in the book. Now somebody knows what they never knew before. I'm a winner. I'm a winner. I'm a winner. Yeah. No more misguided thoughts crippling my mind. No more procrastination, it's stolen time. Heart like thunder in my ear. I will listen, success is here. I'm a winner. I'm a winner. Hey, I'm a winner. I'm a winner. Oh, I'm a winner. Hey, I'm a winner.
Yeah. I love Yes, I love. So, the young lady that did the vocal.
Ayana George. For those of you that don't know, I'm familiar with Ayana. Just Google her. She does backup for John Legend, but she's good friends with my son Brian, and they, his New York friends. You've got I think Jeremy Most on guitar. It's just Ed on drums. All his friends. All these are industry musicians who play for the who's who in the music business. But they all helped out. Brian told him he wanted to do this project for his dad. So he wanted to know, well, what have you written besides gospel? So I started pulling them out, and he was like, yeah. So he pulled all of them, and he's the one he and Ethan are the ones who actually did all this, stuff, because he's a very, very picky. I let anybody in my group. He listens, but so we have the best of musicians on this project. But Winner, I wanted to start with Winner because it's a message that we need to hear. Don't let anybody tell you can't do things. Y'all don't even help your own people. Yes, we do, but nobody knows. So I'm going to be starting a series where I'm going to continue. Initially, it was just going to be, I was going to do the lyrics of the song. But as I'm doing lyrics of the song, people are telling me of other people doing great things in the community. So I'm going to be featuring Larry Veal. He has this company called The Big C. And he works with troubled youth. He wrote this book called Troubled Kids Need Jesus Too. But he was a former gang member. He's, written movies. He's written books. Used to be a comedian. So he's done a lot of different things, but nobody's heard of him. Well, probably more have heard of him than me, but still, he's just somebody I want to feature because he's a winner. He's looking out for our youth, and the young children are giving him feedback. I enjoy this. All my friends need to hear.
Well, send him over to me and we'll debut him here.
Okay, I will do it. I will definitely tell him about you.
Yes.
Or I'll just Google you. I'll Google his number to you, however you want it done. But definitely he's always done that, and he's been recognized by different school systems because the children come back in the classroom different. He has this series, written this book. I forgot the name of the book, but he's one of the people that I will be considering a winner. So each time we recognize these people, we'll play the song Winner, but it has more than one purpose. One purpose is for making sales so we can pay the rent. But when you put it on these downloads and everybody plays it, you don't get paid for that. But maybe you can't see it from here, but I have enough to eat. So air conditioning in the summer, heat in the winter. And that's about all I need now. 2 wonderful children, both of them have beautiful spouses, 3 wonderful grandchildren, all honor roll students. Only thing I have time for now is just loving up on people. So
I
it
know
makes
that's
it easier. It just makes it easy. And I've learned how to love unconditionally, you know.
yeah.
So we hear that, you know, Alicia, you know, she's a Muslim. I'm like, so what's that got to do with her? That's what she
Mm-hmm.
believes. My thoughts are too big to fit in her head. Her thoughts
Yeah.
are too big to fit in my head. I'm gonna take care of me. She can take care of herself. I don't need to be trying to tell her how to live. That goes with
Yeah.
my brothers, my sisters, everybody. As you say in Atlanta, everybody. I can't tell you how to live your life. I
Mm-hmm.
can't,
That's true.
you know, and well, you know, she drank liquor. Well, my auntie did. My auntie did too. As a matter of fact, a whole bunch of folk in my family drink liquor. So that's a reason to not love somebody? No.
Mm-hmm.
No. So these songs, if when you listen to each one of the songs on this project, you'll see that these are songs that actually should be what we,
Mm-hmm.
my religion is Christianity. But if you are
Okay.
a Christian, I can't say I don't love you because you're Hindu. I simply can't
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah.
Now, let's back it up. I can, but I shouldn't because I should love you unconditionally. I
Right.
should. Okay. You don't, you drive with your window down. You need to put it up. Are you in my car? No, but I'm just telling you what's
Right.
good for you. I'm like, would
Right.
you please tend to your own business?
Mm-hmm.
And you up
Right.
at 2 o'clock in the morning worrying about my business. You can't sleep. I'm
Mm-hmm.
snoring at 10 because it ain't bothering me.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Mm-hmm.
chill. Ha, the chill zone. Just chill.
Right. Just chill.
Don't get,
Because
don't
that's
get
all this
upset and
is.
try.
Just chill.
Yeah, chill. Don't be trying to program your guests who come on and tell them what they can say, what they can't say, and you can't say this, you can't do this. You know,
And I
just
don't do
chill.
that. That's what I'm
You
saying.
chill.
This is a free speech. You can say what you want to say. I tell them if you feel like you got to cuss, I mean, you can do that, but don't just let it keep going. Because I understand people come on here, they have to vent.
Yeah, but I mean
Yeah.
that used to bother me a lot. But usually they'll notice when they start and I don't. After a
Mm-hmm.
little while, they'll start saying, "Oh, excuse me, man." Like,
Yeah.
hey, it's your
Yeah.
mouth, not mine. You know, and
Exactly.
I've heard a whole lot of stuff in these
Yeah.
many years.
But we have a few minutes left. So for those that want to get the that would like to follow you, that would like to get the whole album and the whole project, where can they go to do that?
You can go to thedirtyglasses.com. Make sure you say the dirty glasses. If you just put if you just put dirty glasses, it'll go to a site that's for sale for other things. So make sure you put the THE thedirtyglasses.com. Or you can just Google James V. Cockeram, and you can listen to music. I just recently had a close friend that lost someone, and she had no idea I had all this music, and she was like, "I was up to 2:30 in the morning listening, and now I'm listening some more." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's a lot of stuff out there. Don't forget the www part, but everybody should know that, right?"
Right.
Yeah. Everybody should know www.thedirtyglasses.com. But yeah, if you go to the top
put
where
the www just in case.
yeah, but if you go to the top where it says shop, you can get sweatshirts that has looking on it. I think you can get caps and hoodies and t-shirts, and help a brother out. Help tell somebody about James Cockeram, and tell somebody about the dirty glasses and looking. Now there's a song called "Looking" on the project, India Shaw, but it's looking out the window of the eye. That's the Alicia who's sitting behind her desk looking at the computer. That's who we're talking about. The one looking out the window of the eye. And there's a line in that song that says, thoughts are in the hands of the one who created them. And my grandson called, was like, Grandpa, what does afraid to live, afraid to die mean? I said, well, there are some people who are so afraid. They're afraid that they can't not come able to pay a rent. They're afraid they're going to lose their car. They're afraid they're going to get put out. They're afraid. They're just afraid to live. And then there are those who, I can't go here. I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm afraid to die. So they're afraid to live and they're afraid to die. I said, now, do you understand that? He said, kind of. He's only 8 years old. I said, but there's another line in the song that says, thoughts are in the hands of the one who created them. Do you know what that means? He said, God. I said, what about God? He said, I said, where is God? He said, in the sky. I said, yep. And where else is God? He said, in the earth. I said, yep. I said, where else is God? And he paused. I said, he's in you. If you invite him into your life, he'll live in you and you can live in him. I said, but those thoughts, remember when you were afraid to get in the water, when you were first learning to swim and you got in the water and you were afraid? He said, oh yeah, I remember that. I said, now when you go to a pool, you run, and what do? You just jump in the water and you swim because you aren't afraid of the water, right? I said, but Grandpa couldn't make you not be afraid of the water. You had to decide that yourself. So the thought to not be afraid of the water, you determined that. The thought was in your hands. You understand now? Kinda. But that was the explanation. Because those thoughts are in your hands. You can't do the chill zone. Why? Well, you don't have the training for that. Don't even think about it.
Wow.
And you say, they told me I couldn't do it, so I can't do it. Thoughts in your hands. Yep. On the other hand, I'm starting the chill zone. What's that? Oh, it's a talk show. Well, they got about 10,000 talk shows in Atlanta alone.
And
your point, I am starting the chill zone. And I will be successful. Yes. I have guests on from all over the world.
Yeah.
I'm not limited now. I have the internet. I talk to people from all walks of life. It's my show. The Chill Zone is a winner. The Chill Zone is successful. The Chill Zone is where everybody wants to be because they want to tune in to find out what's going on from folks who aren't limited in speech. They have freedom of speech. So you pull a racist on. Well, and that's how they think. That's how they feel. Should you not let them be on your show? No, by no means. Bring them on.
Yeah, I would love to hear from them. I love to hear their thoughts.
Yeah. And it doesn't affect you, but it adds rating to your show because you let somebody on there like that. Let me see who she got on this week.
Yeah. Well, Mr. James, I truly appreciate you being on the show. You are always welcome. When you drop something, if you just want to come on here to talk, even if you want to have your own segment, you are welcome here at Inspiration 98.7.
Thank you so much. You're just a blessing to me. And I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. Did you have anything else to say before we leave?
No, other than please support the brother. Buy this album. I do have the vinyl, the CD.
Okay.
I have the CDs as well as the vinyl albums. The old 33 albums. I pressed a few of those as well. And the main reason I did is because a project from 1978 called Everybody Ought to Praise His Name.
Wow.
The folks from New Zealand, Budapest, Amsterdam,
Mm-hmm.
Paris, London, and a few places in the US have bought all the remaining albums I had from something that I pressed in 1978, my only live recording. So that's
Wow.
what made me want to print this one. But,
Okay.
and I'm like, and they're like, where have you been? I'm like, I've been here all the time.
Yeah.
But we did not have the internet access to the world.
Mm-hmm.
Now we do. So Chill Zone is going to be heard around the world.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Viewers from around the world.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show. Like I said, you are always welcome to be here. Like I said, your own segment, whatever you want. This is your platform, your family.
Thank you. Thank you
So
so
thank
very
you so much for being a part of the Chill Zone. And we will talk soon, okay?
Very good. And I will send you the information on Larry Veal. And if you follow me, he'll be one of my segments as well.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you
Okay.
so much for being a part. I'm gonna put you backstage to end the show, so don't go nowhere, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right. You guys, this has truly been an amazing show. I thank you all for tuning in on the radio live and here on YouTube. You guys, make sure you come back tomorrow for the Chill Zone on its original day, and it's going to be an hour early. So make sure you guys tune in where we have the very amazing rapper Miss Eternal is going to be here. So you guys make sure you tune in tomorrow for that. Also coming up Thursday, we will have also The Way Christian Talk with Shelly LJ herself. She will be on live with Miss Rachel Wilson, and then come back on Friday for our new show, which is Inspire. I'm so excited about that because we have former district attorney Joyette Holmes. It's going to be an amazing show. You guys, make sure you tune in. Thank you so much for being a part of the Chill Zone. I so love you. Thank you. And you guys have a great night.